Okay. Welcome back. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Hi, good evening, Prof.
Okay.
Hi, Prof.
So I guess Yusem, that's your presentation is finished for yes? You're muted, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yes.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yes, considering you were doing a solo performance, it was very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You had more of a burden than most of the other students having to do it all by yourself. Okay, so yeah, so I think I will not keep you guys the full class. I just wanted to do this little activity that I showed before on wanted to get your reflections on the semester in terms of your learning. So if you would be so kind as to go to Pucha Blast and look at our week 14 agenda, and you'll see there number 4 on the final semester reflection activity. If you would just click on the Padlet link there and go ahead and fill in your answers in terms of your learning from the semester. So maybe let's just take a few minutes now to do it. That would be really helpful, and I think maybe we can just discuss it a little bit after you've done that. So
Sorry,
go ahead.
Prof, can you extend? I got disconnected from the internet for a while, so I didn't get the link.
Sure. Okay. I'll put it in the chat box. Hang on. Let's see here. All right. So if you click on that link in the chat box, or you can use the Pucha Blast, it should take you to the Padlet.
Okay, thanks, Prof.
So on the Padlet, if you just click on the bottom right corner, I'll show it. Hold on. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. This one here. Do you see the Padlet on the screen?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Prof, yes.
Yeah, just click on this big pink circle on the bottom, and you can just add your comments. Okay, so it looks like some of you have listed stuff down, so I'm gonna just kind of look through it. Let's see, class help me understand concepts and concerns. Okay. Okay. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I'm glad to hear that you had good experiences. Yeah, I mean, I was the questions I asked were not supposed to be about were not really supposed to be about me. They're supposed to be about what you guys learned, or what you didn't learn, or what you feel you needed to learn more of. I appreciate the kind words, but wasn't that wasn't the purpose of the question. Uh, okay, so style of thinking. After going through this class, I'm changing the style of thinking. Understand reality. Okay, phenomena. All right. So yes, I'm glad to hear that the class has got you to begin thinking differently. That's actually very, very important for qualitative research. It is a different way of thinking, and that's where it starts. And so you have to start thinking differently if you're going to do qualitative research. So I'm happy to hear that that you're starting to think differently. Oh, that's Wafi. Wafi left your name. Okay, thanks, Wafi. Um, okay, that's good. Okay, so maybe it's hard for you guys to do on the spot like this, but you should think about the questions that I'm asking here. You know, go back and think about them a bit deeper, and really think about what it is that you really feel like you need more of. You know, and direct your, since you don't have any more classes, direct your self-directed learning towards those areas. All right, and of course, you're all welcome to sit in this class again in 2 semesters when we offer it again, inshallah. You're always welcome to come in and sit in after you've taken the class. I always invite my former students to come and sit in. When I was a student, I sat in this class for 4 semesters, 4 times. Okay, so it was very helpful for me in that sense. Yeah, interview skills. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I've been thinking about the past few semesters we've had the class. I've been thinking about, you know, I know there is this need for students to do more, to get more experience with interviewing, especially with interview skills. Unfortunately, interview skills, you acquire a lot of them just through practice and experience in doing it. So, and I know we were supposed to do it one class and we didn't have time and I didn't go back to it. So I apologize for that. We were supposed to do those practice interviews. I do apologize for that. But you know, you can practice on anybody. You know, as soon as you get your pilot interview guide settled, you know, go out and practice on. I mean, I used to practice on my wife. You know, I would interview my wife. You know, and stuff like that. So you can practice anywhere with anyone really, just as long as they're willing to help you out. Just get practice doing it. You know, experience and again, be reflexive and think about your own comfort level and how you are framing your questions and stuff like that. Well, thank you very much. Oh, Hanizan, thank you, Hanizan. Um, yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you wrote that. How to write a discussion. Yeah, that's a very good topic. I will I mean it's not, of course it's not unique to qualitative research. I mean, everybody, whatever research you're using, you have to write a discussion section. So I know they're hard. So discussion sections are hard to write. And so yeah, maybe in the write-ups, the class when we talk about writing up, we may be able to touch on that more in future semesters. Thank you for that suggestion. Uh, okay, good. Yeah, it is a lifelong You know, you're gonna continue to learn. I'm always learning more about qualitative research. I read an article today. I learned something about composite narratives. I've never even heard of composite narratives. I read about those today. It was a very interesting article I read. You're going to continue to learn. The learning never stops. It just never stops. So just keep on learning, and that's what makes it interesting and exciting. Okay, thank you, Amila. Thank you for your kind words. That was not the purpose of this question, but thank you. Very nice of you. Okay. Okay, so here's a question. I plan to interview the youth related to my study, and I'm using the purpose in the okay. Is it better to combine several organizations in one group or doing FGD one by one organization? Okay, that's a good question. Is it better to combine several organizations in one FGD or doing FGD one by one in different organizations? So in FGD, well, you can do, okay, first question is, should you do FGD with, typically FGDs, the rule is homogeneity. So you want to have similar respondents in your FGDs, and similar here we mean in terms of their sort of social position. So for example, if you're going to have a focus group with youth, make them just, youth. For example, if they're leaders, have one focus group of just the leaders. If you're going to have the sort of regular participants, have a focus group with just the regular participants. Whether you include them from one organization or not depends on the questions you're asking. And are you doing a case study? It really depends on the configuration of your study. If you're looking at just youth cutting across different organizations, then I don't think it really matters if you have them from the same organization. What matters is that you have groups of youth that are similar in terms of their characteristics within the focus group. All right, and the only reason you would use the same people in both in both interviews and focus groups is if you wanted to use one as a verification tool. So for example, maybe you do FGD and then you choose one or two respondents from the FGD and you follow up with interviews because you want to go deeper with them one-on-one in the interview, or you want to verify what came out of the focus group or something like that. Otherwise, you use different respondents. Okay. Okay, good luck to you, Antasar, on your mixed method research. Okay, thank you. Oh, Chiang, thank you. Yeah, that's good. All right. Yeah. So Chiang, you're the student in terms of where you are in your research. You're kind of like the prototypical student of the way this class used to be run, with students that were really involved and already doing their research, and then they would come back and we'd have these interesting discussions about issues that cropped up or problems that you're having in the field or certain topics you needed more information on or you wanted more information on. So that was really how this class was meant to be. Okay, so yeah, finer details of case study. Yep. All right. Great. 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 Sorry, I just can't help but going through all your comments. So I apologize. Okay. Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah, data saturation is another topic that it's hard to really teach without experience, because every study is very unique in terms of data saturation. So it is a challenging topic to teach. Okay. All right. Well, that's really interesting, helpful feedback, and thank you for all the kind comments. I'm glad that many of you found the class beneficial. I'm grateful for that, and inshallah, I hope that it will pay off for you when you go and embark on your research. And for those of you who gave good suggestions, I always take into account my students' suggestions. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for suggestions on how to improve the course for students. So yeah, so I hope that this will not be the end of our our interaction. I hope we see each other again in the future, and I hope maybe some of you will even come back in 2 semesters and join us again. Okay. In fact, I think with this online, if we were in the face-to-face, still in the face-to-face mode, I think you'd see probably more of our alumni. They usually come and sit in the class, just to refresh or just to, ask questions about problems they're having and stuff like that. So you're all welcome to come back again in 2 semesters or next year. Okay.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, yes, I will, Prof. I will come back to your class.
Great.
Definitely.
If we had this face-to-face, you won't be able to see us. We'll all be wearing face masks, Prof.
I hope in a year from now we're still not wearing face masks. But at least if we can be face to face, that would be an improvement. So, alhamdulillah. All right. Well, all the best, everyone. Thank you so much. And feel free to contact me if you have any problems or questions.
Hello, Prof.
So much, Prof.
Okay. All right.
Prof.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
Augustine, did you have a question?
I want to ask you a question
Oh, okay.
regarding assignment 6. When we upload the critic, I assume that we will also upload the dissertation.
Thesis.
I mean the thesis.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. We'll upload both.
No,
Okay.
it's
Thank you.
not necessary. Well, since it's a soft copy, yeah, it's fine. Upload both. I think Putra Blast can handle the data.
Okay.
Usually when it's in hard copy, I just ask students to upload to hand in the critique. But since it's soft copy, go ahead and upload the thesis too. Because this way, I might come across some new interesting theses that I can add to my library. So.
Yeah, because the critic will be in Microsoft Word.
Yes, that's right.
While the thesis is in PDF
Usually it's
format.
in PDF. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Right.
Professor. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Prof. Sorry, I thought
Oh.
about the non-participant. This question for Will. I understand what you mean, as I was not involved in their creation.
Yeah.
I just to be a listener to
Right.
what they were saying, like a student, I think. So I could be considered a non-participant observer. In fact, this is not clearly defined, I think. Yeah, I can use what I hear in their online workshop and what they put out online blog about their creation, about their verbative transcript about online workshop meaning, and as my extra data to support my interview data, just like our week 9 journal article situation like this. If I put my non-participant observation data to support my interview data or help me to get the data situation, I think I will be a non-participant observer.
Yes.
Is that this means?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
If I'm understanding you correctly, I think you will be a non-participant observer. Yep.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you.
Yep.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yep.
Yes. Professor, if we carry out the peer review, then when we publish our paper, is it also she the co-author of the paper?
No, 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 no. They're not a co-author. Their job should just be to audit your whatever it is. If they're looking at the analysis, or maybe they're auditing the whole study. It depends. Remember, there's also something called an external auditor, which is similar to peer review. Peer review usually just looks at the findings and the data. An external auditor will actually look at your audit trail. They'll look at the whole process of the study. So you don't come across the external auditor as frequently as you do the peer reviewer. So they don't partake in the actual production of the research. So they wouldn't be an author in a paper.
So
They
you
can
mean
be
that?
acknowledged, no?
Sorry?
Yes, Cheyenne.
We can write them into we can thank them in the acknowledgement section, I guess.
Sure. Yes. Yep. I mean, really, in your methods, you should mention that they acted as a peer reviewer in your method section, as part of your trustworthiness, section. And if it's good if they agree, it's good that you mention them by name. It gives it more credibility.
So you mean that they just help you to check your codes, right?
Not necessarily. They can look at any aspect of the analysis and findings, not just the coding. But if you want, yes,
Okay.
of course, they can go through your coding process, but they can look at other aspects of your analysis. They can look at your findings, so it's not just coding, because in some studies they don't even do coding. So what would they look at?
Then what we need is their opinions or suggestion, right?
Well, no, I mean, for peer review, it's really on it's on how you analyze your data and how you arrive at your findings. So you can ask them first to even look, you can give them transcripts to look at, to see how they can look at how you're asking questions. They can look at how you're conducting your interviews. Then they can look at your initial analysis. They can look at your secondary analysis. They can look at your themes and so forth. It's best to let them look at the whole process if they're willing to, or if not, then you identify, maybe different people for different things. Maybe you have one that looks at your interview transcripts, another looks at your coding and so forth. So you can use them. You can use multiple peer reviewers, and you can use them differently.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So you guys saved all your questions for week 14. I see all the questions tonight are coming out. It's never better late than never. It's okay. Yeah, Shahira.
Just wondering, for positionality statement, where should we insert in our thesis? In which part?
Yeah, chapter 3, definitely chapter 3. Usually it's usually it's earlier. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, it's usually when you at that point where you begin to talk about your sample. If you're doing case study, before you talk about the case, or right after, so it's sort of like if you look at that thesis, the one I put on Puja Blast, the Al-Hajj thesis on phenomenology. Go back and look at his chapter, his methodology chapter, and look at where he positions it. He wrote a really nice methodology chapter, and you can kind of see where it fits. I'm trying to think exactly where he put his. I can't remember, but definitely the earlier part, because it relates to your relationship with the sample, how you chose your sample, right? So it's definitely gonna be earlier on.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Yeah. Okay.
Professor?
Yes, Junji.
Yeah, I still have a question that is about the research design. So can we consider it like something similar to a summary or framework of our whole research?
Is what a summary of the whole research?
Can we consider the research design as a summary or framework of our research?
No, no, no. Research design is not a summary of the research. Research design is your approach. What method are you using? What approach? So you're using, you're doing qualitative research, okay? And then within qualitative research, maybe you have a specific tradition or a specific approach within qualitative research that you're using, phenomenology or grounded theory. So that's your research design.
We need something to explain why we adopt such methodology, right?
Yes, of course.
But then what about the part of methodology? Because you know that there is a part called methodology in our tables, right? So how can we distinguish the part of methodology and the research design?
I'm not following you. Methodology is your chapter 3. Okay.
Yes.
And you start off your chapter 3 talking about your research paradigm and then your research design. And then you talk about sampling, data collection, data analysis, so etc.
Oh, okay.
So
I
research
see.
design is the overall design of the study. It means the approach that you're using to carry out the study, like case study or phenomenology or whatever, but it starts with qualitative research. So first talk broadly about qualitative research and then more narrowly about your specific method within qualitative research if you're using one. Okay, and then you talk about, you know, your sample and procedures and all that other stuff.
Okay, okay, see. Thank you, Professor.
Yeah, I have a let me just dig it up while we're on the topic. I have a outline for chapter 3. It has hang on a sec, let me just look for it here. Where do I have it? Chapter.
Professor, Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Can you take a picture using open camera, all of a student today?
I can. Can you hold on a second? I'm looking for this outline. Okay.
Opening everyone camera.
Yeah. Hold on one second, okay? Hold on. I can't find it at the moment. I'll look for it and I'll put it on the WhatsApp group, okay?
Yes, sure.
The chapter 3 outline that has all the headings and subheadings. All right, I'll share that in the WhatsApp group, inshallah.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay, so Nazrul, you want to take a picture?
Yes, sure.
Okay, wait.
I think you did your best for us.
Everyone smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. So I will put this on the WhatsApp group. Uh-oh. Hey, wait. Where is it? Oh no, I have to do it again. Sorry, didn't take. One more time. Okay, ready to go. All right. Let's see, did it come out? Okay, it's on the WhatsApp group. You can check it out. All right. Anything else?
I think you did your best for us in this class.
Thank you, Nazrul. You know, just trying to help everyone. I mean, I learn a lot too. You know, I learn a lot. I learned so much from teaching. So that's why I enjoy the class so much. It helps me in my own research, and you know, after a while, you learn. You just learn to love it. You learn to appreciate it, and then just pass on what you've learned. That's all. So, okay. So, all the best, guys.
Thank you, Prof. We
Good
will
luck with
miss
your
you.
research. Good luck with your semester.
Thank you very much. See you, inshallah.
Please stay safe, stay well.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Professor.
Thank you.
Hopefully see
Thank
you
you.
on campus. Inshallah.
Sorry,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Prof. See you soon.
Sama, inshallah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Prof, question. Sorry, I have a question, Prof.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Sorry. So sorry. And about a theory question. Actually, I have two theories that are relevant to my research.
Okay.
Yeah, about two theories relevant.
Uh-huh.
And a primary theory and a secondary theory. However, in the process of my interview, I found that my secondary position theory probably accounted for my research weight. Should I change my conceptual framework? Because the informants always mentioned the second theory related more often, or ask more questions about primary. I mean the first theory in advanced series about this question.
So this was in your pilot interviews?
Yes, about I always conduct my interview because I think I'm not at the data situation, so I will continue to interview.
No, my question was, when they were saying these things, it was during the pilot interviews?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, you can, of course, you can adjust your conceptual framework. You can do that. Yeah.
So I can change my theory or just focus on,
Sure.
you know, I interviewed about 10 informants.
Oh.
So yeah, always the informants talk about the second theory. I don't know. I just ask the question more relevant to the first theory, or just a change.
It's hard for me to say. I can't really tell. I don't know enough about your study to say. I will say, generally speaking, if you want to adjust your conceptual framework, if you've already done 10 interviews, it sounds like that relates more to your findings. So I would just discuss that in your findings, in your discussion, rather than go back and redo your conceptual framework. I can't really answer your question. I'm not really sure. It's not clear to me. I would be afraid to say either way. I don't really know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe I should conduct
I would
more
discuss that with your supervisor, who knows your study much better.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, everyone. Have a good night. Take care. See you again soon, inshallah.
You too, bro.
Thank you, Prof. Good night.
Bye-bye. Salam.
Bye, Prof.
Bye.
Bye.